Hello, 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 everybody. We are getting started. Go ahead and tag, like, and share. All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing today? You get a chance to move all of that stuff. You guys see I'm in a remote area because Mr. King Komet got every area on lock. So, hi, I am your host, Stephanie Sparks. Go ahead and tag, like, and share. Today we're gonna get intimate. Today it's Triple T, which stands for Transparency, Transformation, and Transparency Tuesday. I hope and pray that the level of transparency that we've been doing over the last year has been to the area where it's helping somebody. I don't know any other way to be than to be me. On my worst day, I'm my best me. That's all I know. But today we're getting into some things. We're gonna do some touch on some things that's kind of helped me uh, get through the last few weeks. Um, Forgive me. I'm inviting our Instagram family on because my helper, Elder Marcus, has not made it in yet. So I am doing it on my own today. So bear with me. When you come on, uh, let me know who you are. Let me know you're on. Please take the time to tag, like, and share because I want to make sure that I say hello, but I want to know who's on. Um, with me as well because we the basis of Triple T is the scripture that we are overcomers by the blood of the lamb and the word of our testimony, and that's what we based Triple T on. But I needed to come on. I was hoping that Marcus would have been here because I wanted us to do this together. Um, but I'll go ahead and get started because we are already a few minutes behind. I am your host, Lady Stephanie Sparks, Elder Sparks, whatever you want to call me. I'm just Stephanie. Um, and I know Apostle Sonara Henderson is going to get me because she always tells me the blessing is in when you accept who you are in God. And I get it, Apostle. I'm just comfortable with just saying I'm Stephanie. And I do that because I don't ever want to get so puffed up in the position, in the title, that I can't be touchable. Not common, but I want to be touchable. And so I want to make sure that I am touchable to the people, and I want to make sure that I'm pleasing God in everything that I do. So please tag, like, and share. Invite some people because on today we want to. I really need to talk with you. I want you to lean in a little close. I want you to come on in because there's some things that I want to share with you. Yes, there are some things I want to share with you. I want to explain some things regarding the awakening encounter, and those of you that have been graciously praying for my husband and I, we appreciate it. Um, we appreciate all that you do. Those of you that I don't want to get ahead of myself, um, but those of you that are have already sold into the conference, all is not lost because we are in the works now, rescheduling. So I wanted to inform those of you that are on. Um, if you have, if you have not been connected the last couple of weeks, we did have to postpone. Um, we did have to postpone the awakening encounter, and there were a lot of reasons why we needed to um, postpone the awakening encounter. And I'm glad my brother is on here. Hi, Omar. Um, the prophet is here, and I trust his judgment. I trust his word so much, and I'm glad that he's here. I love you so much. There are a few people because I say that having to postpone the awakening encounter, it took the wind out of my husband and I. Can I say that? It was very discouraging. Hey, brother, I love you. Um, I love you and my sister so much. And I want to publicly say, I appreciate you. And I'm going to try to do this segment without crying. I can't make no promises. I appreciate you and your wife. I appreciate you and sister because when we felt the darts of people talking and not praying, you guys were right there. You were right there. You were praying. Whew. You were praying. You were encouraging. And you didn't let us fall. Hey, my sister. I knew that I heard God when about the awakening encounter. I'm not questioning that. I never have questioned that. I know I heard his voice. I know he said to do it. So I don't have questions about that. One thing I do know is that the word of God said that we prophesy in part. And we don't always hear everything. Sometimes we can be so busy preparing for a thing that God told us to do that we don't hear all of the instructions. And can I say that that was us? I'm giving you my heart today. Triple T is about giving you my heart today because I mean the enemy wore me out mentally because I could hear him saying that, people are going to think that you took their money. People are going to think you use this as a scam because there's so much scamming that's going on. And these are the things that I really fought with before taking things into consideration. We had people's spouses going into the hospital that were a part of the actual programming of the revival. at the last minute, and you can't plan emergencies. Certain people were dealing with COVID and sicknesses and stuff like that, and it was all coming about at the same time. Not only that, but we had people that had promised to with pledges that didn't come through. And so at the last minute, that caused us to have to go and do things to try to get these funds. Hi, Sherilyn. We had to try to get these funds to try to make sure we paid for everything. I want to say thank you to Apostle Canisia Mouton publicly. Hey, sister, I love you so much. I want to say publicly thank you to Apostle Canisia Mouton, because when things were, you guys were there for us in the clutch. You and Prophet Omar, y'all were there in the clutch for us. Y'all were in the trenches with us. And all I can say is thank you. I have to say thank you to Courtney and Tisha Smith. They were in the trenches with us. I have to say thank you to Josh and Tamara Wade. They were in the trenches with us. They were praying for us. They were lifting us up. And it seemed like when we would get to one hurdle, we'll get over one hurdle, something else would happen. And all I could get at the end of the day, it was the timing. God used several people to let us know that you didn't miss God in what you were doing. It was the timing. And God is not going to allow the awakening encounter to fall to the wayside. So I love you too. I love you, Apostle, brother Apostle Smith. That's my brother. And all of the other people that were praying for us. What I want to say to you is that Marcus and we're always the ones that are holding up the arms of leadership. And we know that's our calling, that we're the support to leadership. And that's what we do. And to know that, and Prophet Omar kept saying this to us. He said, know that there are more for you than there are against you. Can I say that when we were in the middle of it, when we were in the crux of it, it didn't feel like we had support. Sometimes when I'm asleep, or sometimes when I'm sitting quiet, I get a chance to see things. I'm a seer. I've been a seer all my life. And sometimes God allowed me to see certain things and hear certain things. And brother, don't make me cry. I'm trying to get through this. And can I say this? The things that we saw and the people that we saw that were hoping that it didn't happen, that were coming together as comrades to prevent and to try to make things hard, because our heart in this matter, the revival, the awakening encounter, it wasn't for us to create a platform for us. We can care less about having a platform. This is who we are. We serve. We serve. And you know what, Apostle Elijah? At this point, I don't even care about the haters. I don't care about the haters because I'm so concerned about those that are lost. I'm so concerned about those that are lost. So I could care less about the haters. Can I say it how I feel it? The hell with the haters. Because whether you do right, whether you do wrong, if you have your own personal agenda, whether you have the agenda of the kingdom, people are going to talk. People are going to talk. So I'm not, it's all about kingdom. It's all about kingdom. And I do believe that God always gives provision for the vision. I believe that God will never allow you to pull from your own personal household. Yes, we do, sir. Yes, we do. I don't believe that God would want your household to suffer for kingdom. I don't. And we made some sacrifices. We made major sacrifices. Took money out of our home budget where things in our home was lacking. And that's not the order of God. So I'll never put the two together. I'll never try to merge that. I'm This is Triple T, Transformation and Transparency Tuesday. You getting it all today. You said some of the folks talking still stuck on the shore. You and Marcus stepped out on the water. Yes. And we're going to continue to have that kind of faith. But I do believe there were some instructions that we missed. And so uh, sometimes we can get so caught up on what we heard from God, what we heard God say, and we get so excited about God using us, and we jump out and we do things. And there were some instructions that we missed. In the last couple of weeks, while we were waiting, while there was a couple of days where we were licking our wounds. Yes, it was. Because when you grieve about things, you go through levels of grieving. And so there were some days I didn't want to get out of bed. There were some days my husband was consoling me. There were some days I was consoling my husband. All of this was transpiring while we were moving, trying to get to our next. We're still in transition because the dates of us moving from our old place to our new place, we're still waiting on that to be done because we thought we had it figured out. We didn't. There was money that we were using to get into our new place that we used for the conference. Can I say that? And so now we're playing catch up to get into that so we can go ahead and move into our next. People of God, what I'm saying is that ministry cost. Salvation is free, but ministry cost when you're going to do it effectively. Because of when we canceled it, we still have to pay for that information, for that the conference. We still have to pay for that. The lady that we were working with at the hotel, she was trying to talk with her manager to see if we can transfer that to the next date. And because of what they because of it being the last minute, when you sign a contract at a hotel, that's what you're responsible for paying. So when we redo it, we have to pay that amount again. I'm saying that not to ask for any money, but I'm just saying I'm wanting to let you know the process of this. The hotel was chosen because the people that we're trying to reach, some of them will never step foot inside of a church. Because they feel, because of how the church responds to people that don't look like them, don't know when to lift their hands, don't know when to shout like everybody else, because everybody doing the same shout. They didn't practice it. They don't know when to huckle my shy, because they're looking for a change. They're tired of living the way that they are. They're tired of being who they are, and they're wanting a change, and they're seeking for change. I wanted to create a space. My husband and I, we wanted to create a space where they can come in and not feel judged by what they have on, whether they're underdressed or overdressed, but a place where they can come in and they can feel God and they can get the deliverance that they need. And our job, and we talked to several pastors, several, because we're not starting a ministry. We're not starting a church. So these people are going to have to be disseminated. They're going to have to be directed to different ministries in their area. And we were being prayerful by the ministers, the pastors that we were sending to. Of course, we want to be a blessing to our own church, but we also want to be a blessing to other ministries. Because everybody is not for everybody. Every type of leadership is not for everybody. So we wanted to send them to Bible believing, Bible teaching ministries that was going to help them walk through their deliverance and create a relationship with God. So we needed people to send them. We needed ministries, churches to send them to, pastors that would cover them. Once we did that, that's what we were planning. That's still the plan. So it wasn't about creating a space at the table or to create a name for us in the DFW area. I've been in Dallas-Fort Worth area my whole life. I know a lot of people. Some people I wish I didn't know. Hello, somebody. But I'm not doing this so people can know my name. My husband is not doing this where people can know our name. We not at Cheers. We don't want to go where everybody know our name. But we're wanting people to be set free. We want people to be delivered, and we want to place them in a place that's going to love on them, to help them get to walk this thing out, to live, to show them, to teach them with the word how to live a life of holiness. That's the purpose of the awakening encounter. The purpose of the awakening encounter was to awaken those that have been um, feeling like we felt that the awakening encounter didn't happen, that they put their hands to the plow and they get attacked on every side and don't get the help that they need to get the work done. And so they've decided not to do it. And they've decided to sit on the wall. Well, I'm not sitting down. The awakening encounter didn't happen August 19th through the 21st, but it will happen. It will happen. And so my husband and I, we're doing some reconstruction. We thought that there were some things that didn't transpire regarding our federal nonprofit status. So we're getting that done. We're focusing on getting that done right now. Once we get that done, then we'll be able to go out and get corporate sponsors to help us with the awakening encounter. What I did learn from this is not to depend on people. Not all people, but some people will tell you that they're going to do something. And I will say this. We do understand that certain things happen. We know things happen. We know things happen. But when things happen, give a courtesy call. Prime example. A friend of mine, well, I know her. She contacted me to ask if we could do something for her spouse. And we agreed to do it. I missed the deadline because of everything that we were planning and everything that we were doing. Yes, Marty, communication is key. I missed the date. I was driving down the street the other night, and I remembered something triggered my thought about that because I knew the date was coming up. And I said, oh my God, honey, we missed doing the video that we promised we were going to do. We missed it. I instantly contacted her. As soon as I remembered, I instantly contacted her and I told her, I said, I'm so sorry. Life happened and I forgot. Something just now triggered my memory and I thought about it. I wanted to extend our apologies. I realize it may be too late right now to do it. We missed the date. But I wanted to let you know that I didn't just give you my word and not follow through on it. I wanted to tell you why I didn't. And she said, I understand life happens. And I said, but I just wanted to convey to you my sincerest apologies because I gave you my word. We gave you our word. that we were going to do it. All you have to do is pick up the phone, send a text, something. We were dodged. We would see them in public and they would go the opposite direction. And so that taught me that when you're doing things like this, yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, prophetess Shantae, yes. Dr. Scroggins, yes, ma'am. That's exactly what happened. So that taught me people will say things in your face. Just to say it. But they have no intentions on doing what they said. None. And so I wanted to make sure that we address this. I couldn't address it the week after it happened. I was too devastated. I couldn't address it last week. I thought I was strong enough. I was still devastated. I'm still devastated now. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad that when you're at your weakest, moment, his word said that his strength is made perfect in your weakness. So I thank the Lord for those that have been praying for us. I thank the Lord for those that have contacted us. I thank the Lord that there are certain people that even though they may not call, I know they are covering the Sparks in prayer. And so there's just a few. It's not many. And so there are some things that we've learned in this process. There are some things that we're going back to the drawing board and doing. There are some things that we're going back to the drawing board and doing, because this time, when we get ready to do it, it will be what God has designed for it to be. It will be executed exactly like he gave it to us. And prayerfully, it will be in the timing that he desires for it to be done in. This time, when I tell you my ears are so keen to hear him, thank you, Marty. Thank you, Marty. I want to make sure, and in everything that I do, those that really, really know Marcus and I, you know that when we put our hands to do things, we really like to do it in the spirit of excellence. And a lot of people say we do things on champagne. We have champagne taste. We have Ripple budget, whatever. That's what I say to that. Whatever. Because we know how God gave it to us. If you were there when he told us, then we can have a conversation. But if you were not there when he told us, God bless you. And you can have that conversation where you have it. And I'm not being, I promise you, I'm not trying to be ugly. But you don't know the fight that we had to go through.
That's good.
You don't know the fight that we're still going through to make sure that this comes to pass. We're not trying to put on programs at the first of the month, the 15th of the month, because we're trying to pay some bills. That's not us. God has always provided for us. Even when we don't make good decisions, he chastises us and then he still provides. And people don't know our faith walk. They don't understand our faith walk. And I don't expect them to. I do not expect people to understand our faith walk. But I'm grateful to God for those that are standing by us and that have stood by us. As soon as we work out the details for the awakening encounter, those dates will come up. Those that have already registered, and you registered at the at no cost, that will not change. That will not change. Those of you that registered as vendors, and we did refund a lot of the vendors, but there were some that decided they wanted to continue to their seed that they paid for their vendor spot. They didn't want a refund. We contacted them. And all of that is the same. So when the date comes, your spot is solidified. Those vendors that agreed to be a part of the awakening encounter, we pray that you come back when we have that date. But when I will make this announcement, when the awakening encounter comes back, it will be at a fee for registration.
Yes.
It will be at a fee for registration. Because, yes, ma'am, it will be a fee for registration. So I prayerfully hope that you guys are, amen. Those of you that have already registered, you're good. Don't worry about a registration fee. If you want to seed something at that time, you can. But your registration has already been taken care of. But those that will register for the new dates, there will be a registration fee. So I'm so grateful to God. Chanelian, if you're still on here, I believe Marcus is coming to the event this weekend, but our women's ministry at our church, our women's retreat is this weekend. So I won't be here, but Sparks is coming. If the Lord say the same and the creek don't rise, as the old folks used to say, Sparks will be there. So I had to come on and share with you guys our hearts. This Triple T, Transformation and Transparency Tuesday. Let me tell you, if you're going to hear it, thank you, Chanelian. If you're going to hear it, you're going to hear it from me first. Because can't nobody tell it like we can tell it, because we here. Boom. Y'all hear me? Can't nobody tell it like we can tell it. And everybody, others can speculate. they can assume, they can do all of that. But we know the intricate details. And I'm grateful to God, to those of you that have been in our corner, that have been praying for us, that have been supporting us, that have been giving us words of encouragement. I am so grateful to God for you guys. And continue to pray for us, continue to lift us up. We do know that the awakening encounter is needed. We didn't miss that. We know that the awakening encounter was given to us by God to do. This is the 9th year. It's been 9 years since we've done it before, since the last time we did the awakening encounter. So we know that the time is now. And so, but when God releases us for the dates, then we will do it according to that. But we will be integral. We will continue to pay off the other debt with the hotel so that we can reschedule. We will be integral. We don't go around leaving debt behind. That's not our way. So I wanted to come on and share with you guys what transpired, what we're up against, and how we're holding on. We're not hiding. We don't hide from nothing. I want y'all to hear me and hear me good. We don't hide from anything. But I know that we owe everyone an explanation. So please tag, like, and share this video, because I want this segment of Triple T, and it will be up so you can go back and revisit. But I wanted to share. I wanted to share this with everyone. I'm not playing with you and Omar, sister. Y'all not finna break me down. I done already been broke down for the last 2 weeks. Yes, honey, we thank all of you for your support, and we love you so, so, so very much. And we are grateful for your love. We are grateful that you show us God's love through your love. We are grateful to God for that. So we wanted to come on and give you that information. As soon as we get those dates booked, soon as we pay that debt off, then we will book those dates, and then we will get the new marketing information out there. Prayerfully, we are grateful that the speakers have all said, everyone that is involved with the Awakening Encounter, they've all said that when we get ready, they are ready. So I am grateful to God for that. And so I'm expecting God to do something big. I'm expecting God to do something big, simply because God will not be mocked. He won't be. And one thing that he knows is that Marcus and I, we seek his face for the things that we need to do for him. And we do all that we can to live our lives. What you see is what you get. We don't change. If anything that we're guilty of, we're guilty of having a huge heart, and we give past what God gives us the grace to do. I'm going to leave that right there. Sometimes our hearts are so big that we give, and if we extend our giving before we really get an answer back from God. So if we're guilty for anything, we're guilty of that. And so, and one thing that we've learned is that everybody's love language is a whole lot different.
Yeah. So we can't expect.
We can't, and so with that being said, I think Gary Chapman is the one that wrote the 5 love languages. And our love language is different than others. What we've been guilty of is we've been guilty of expecting the same thing that we give. And everybody's love language is not that. It's not like ours. So I've learned a valuable lesson. Did we have to pay for this lesson? Yes. Paid dearly. Still paying. So we're learning to absolutely, Marty, you cannot expect others to do what you would do, which is such an oxymoron when it comes to the great great commandment. It says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and to love your neighbor as yourself. The problem with that in this time is this. The question is, does your neighbor love themselves? Because you can't expect for someone to love you if they don't love themselves. That's another segment. So I just wanted to come on and say hello to everyone. I wanted to come on and explain, hey Sticks. I wanted to come on and explain what transpired as why the Awakening Encounter was postponed. Let me say this, because I'm gonna say, insert a fall out flat worship. Yes. Yes. Let me say this here, because the enemy was knocking me down with this. Because I said, God, I don't want the people to think of us as those that plan these events and they never happen.
Be transparent, buddy.
This was the second event. Everybody know in 2019 we planned the Blissfully Wedded Marriage conference retreat, and that was postponed because my husband was put on life support. We planned it for 2020. Miss COVID came in. Madam COVID. Madam COVID came in here with a vengeance. So that knocked it out. 2021 came, and it's been up and down. The numbers was up and down. And whenever we would select a time at a venue, the numbers would go up, and they would, they wouldn't allow us to have it. 2022, we're planning to have it, but what we will not do, Lord have mercy, help me right here. Marcus's cousin said these words to him, and I got to give it to you because it blessed my socks off. Marcus was telling him about us having to postpone the conference and stuff like that. And he said, really and truthfully, cuz, I'm going to say this to you. And Marcus had it on speaker. I wasn't in this conversation, but it blessed me even the more. He said, cuz, I've never heard of a king that's more concerned about the kingdom when his castle is not set into place. Selah. I'm going to let that sit there. Hey, Trey. Hey, Debbie. He said, I've never seen a king be more concerned about his kingdom when his castle is not set. And so right now, hey sis, right now we're working on the castle. When I get set, when the castle is good, then we'll start working on all of this stuff. So right now we are getting our federal nonprofit status paperwork handled. We got the stuff done for the state. But we're working on getting that paperwork finalized for federal. So we can not only get funding from things that's in the state of Texas, but that way we can get funding and items, whatever we need, we can get that from any company that's not just in the state of Texas. So I thank you all for your time on today. I thank you for leaning in. If you're just getting on, go back and listen to the replay. But I wanted to explain why the Awakening Encounter was postponed. We are working on that again to get those dates, but we did incur a cost because there were people that we had on that were waiting on their money that we didn't get a chance to finish paying. And so we have to pay that debt. We will not go into plan another conference without the debt from this one that we had to postpone for that to be taken care of. We will not go into anything else until we take care of that. And I believe God is pleased with that. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact us. Our email address is stephanie@wonderfullycreated.org. I'll be able to answer all your questions. If this wasn't suffice, if this live did not answer all of your questions, email me and we will get to answer those questions for you. I'm an open book. I don't have anything to hide, and I'm not trying to impress anybody. One thing about me is I can stand pretty good on my own 2 feet. So, and I'm transparent. I'm going to tell you about me. If anything goes on, I'm going to tell you what I said. I'm going to tell you what the person said. I don't play the victim. I don't play the victim because that's not who I am. We do realize that we are. Hi, Marty, don't do that. You're gonna make me cry. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it here. Marty, you can donate either. And again, this is not what this is not what it was for. this for, but I appreciate you so much, Marty, um, for believing the God in us. It's Mark Humphreys. Okay. If you want to, our Zelle is Boaz Gift. I'm trying to type it and put it in here. I'm sorry. Boaz Gift at iCloud.com. And our Cash App for Wonderfully Created Ministries is $ WC Ministries, WC Ministries. And if you want to do PayPal, we have PayPal, and I can give you that. I'm working on changing the name and stuff like that for that. So I am. Yes, Debbie. Yes, Debbie. Tell them please exit stage left. I'm so grateful to God for y'all. I love you so much, folks. Yes, we're saying it like this. Folks be doing the most. Yes, they do. But I'm the one that'll dispel it. I'm the one because I don't have anything to hide. And before I disappoint God, you're welcome, Marty. Um, before I disappoint God, I will let these jokers have it. Because who I'm not disappointing is God. Honey, what can mere man do to me? Don't have no heaven or hell to put me in. And you can talk as much as you want. One thing about Stephanie, when I put the blinders on, I don't see nothing and I don't hear anything. Yes, ma'am. That's just me. That's who I am. But I am Marcus Sparks' helpmeet. Let me put this out here. I want y'all to lean in. Stephanie Sparks is Marcus Sparks' helpmeet. And I know he's capable of handling his own affairs. But I do not take kindly to people bumping their gums and making any moves on my husband.
Oh boy.
My name is Stephanie Jackson Sparks, and I approve that message. Here, if y'all ever want to see another side of me, mess with me. And I'm saying, when you mess with Marcus, you mess with me. We're one. You can't do the one and not do the other. So I had to come. That part, Marty. That part, Marty. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So trust me, we hear what's been said, and that's okay. But when God releases it, when He releases it, that's all I can say. When God releases it, one thing we don't have to do, we don't have to fight, we don't have to do none of that. And although I have to talk myself down when folks mess with my husband. But what one thing I do know, every single time God has always vindicated me. He's always vindicated me. My heart for him is so real. My heart for God is so true. And so if I'm misunderstood for his sake, I'm in good company. I'm in good company. So I love you guys. It's been an hour. I wasn't intending on keeping on you on here this long. That was not my intentions, but I love you guys. We will see you next week at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time here, right here where you are, whether you're here on Facebook Live, whether you're on our ministry page, Wonderfully Created Ministries, or whether you're on our YouTube page. If you're on YouTube, hit the bell and subscribe and hit the bell and share it with somebody. The and like it so you can get all the new videos. Debbie Humphrey, you know that we love us some y'all. We love y'all. So we'll see you next week at 6 p.m. right back here on Triple T. Love you.
You know what I was thinking about doing?